Welcome to The Explainer. We're going to dive right in today because we are going on a journey way beyond the chatbots and software screens you're used to seeing. We are pulling back the curtain to reveal the massive physical and geopolitical engine that's actually driving artificial intelligence. Think of this as an unfolding story about planetary resources, the global supply chain, and ultimately, political control. To kick us off, we really need to shatter a very popular illusion. Take a look at this quote from researcher Kate Crawford. Artificial intelligence is neither truly artificial nor entirely intelligent. So what's she getting at here? Well, she means that AI isn't just this magical code floating around in some invisible cloud. It's actually a vast, heavily physical ecosystem built on human labor and literally extracted from the Earth's natural resources. So let's start with layer one, the Earth, shattering the illusion of the cloud. 0.2 milliliters. That is the water footprint of just one typical text prompt on an app like Gemini. It's, barely 5 drops of water? On an everyday individual level, that seems completely negligible, right? But you really have to ask yourself, what happens when we zoom out and look at the cumulative impact of billions of these interactions happening every single day? Well, here is that macro view. Notice this stark trend line. Thousands of data centers are being built all over the globe, and crucially, they're increasingly surging in areas that already experience high water stress. We're looking at a huge geographic mismatch. In the US, for example, the required power is often available in drier climates. And an average 100 megawatt hyperscale data center, it consumes roughly 2 million liters of water every single day. This industry is incredibly thirsty. And it's not just thirsty, it is incredibly power hungry too. Look at this number, 9 gigawatts. By the year 2030, a single leading AI supercomputer could require 9 gigawatts of power. To put that into perspective, that's the equivalent of 9 nuclear reactors, just for one system. So national power grids, rather than just computer chips or money, are rapidly becoming the ultimate binding constraint for the future of AI. Which brings us to layer 2, the map, the infrastructure and supercomputing arms race. This brilliantly illustrates the global chess match currently underway, specifically looking at the dynamic between the US and China. Now, the US absolutely dominates aggregate AI's supercomputer capacity. They hold roughly 75% of the market share compared to China, and US computational performance is about 9 times higher. But shift your focus over to raw electricity generation. China vastly commands the power required to actually run the future. And as we just talked about, without sufficient electricity, any national AI plan is just going to collapse. Because of this intense competition, a lot of governments are pushing hard for what they call sovereign AI, basically trying to build their own independent AI ecosystems. But let's be real. Look at this globalized supply chain. It's a giant puzzle spanning from fabrication to advanced packaging to accelerators all the way to the AI factory. Nations simply cannot realistically onshore every single rung of this ladder. Modern AI supply chains are so heavily entangled globally that these sovereign efforts are actually riddled with vulnerabilities, from cybersecurity risks to intense jurisdictional disputes over data. So the crucial point here is a massive shift in geopolitical power. Compute dominance has completely moved away from public governments and right into the hands of private corporations. They now control a staggering 80% of AI supercomputers. That's up from just 40% back in 2019. Look, these companies can afford to build $7 billion systems, while government research projects are often maxing out in the millions. This creates a terrifying policy blind spot because governments are literally losing visibility into the very frontier of AI development. Moving on to layer 3, the mercenaries, the battle for human capital. Welcome to the AI Hunger Games. Seriously, it is an all-out war out there right now as top tech empires are desperately competing for a very, very small pool of top-tier talent who are actually capable of building these frontier models. We are seeing unprecedented financial leverage being thrown around. Tech giants like Microsoft are offering these wild multi-million-dollar pay packages specifically designed to poach high-ranking AI talent right away from rivals like Meta. It is an incredibly aggressive, high-stakes talent grab. And hey, this isn't just happening in Silicon Valley. It's a completely global talent war. For instance, we're seeing Anthropic reaching deep into Europe, engaging in huge hiring sprees with baseline offers starting at £340,000. They are actively securing the finest minds straight out of top research institutions all over the world. And to really drive home just how absurd the volume of money is in this intellectual arms race, the boss of OpenAI recently accused Meta of trying to poach staff with $100 million sign-on bonuses. Literally $100 million. This incredible clash of money versus mission is fundamentally reshaping who exactly holds the keys to the kingdom. Layer 4, the crown, state power, warfare, and survival. Author Mustafa Suleyman points out a pretty terrifying shift in his book, The Coming Wave. You see, historically, technological advancements shifted power directly to the traditional nation-states who utilize them. But AI, it offers a totally new asymmetrical power. These tools could empower individuals and small rogue groups with the ability to cause catastrophic damage. We're talking launching major cyber attacks or even engineering pandemics, which severely challenges our traditional liberal democratic framework. Meanwhile, traditional militaries are fundamentally changing how they operate. We are seeing the very real, somewhat chilling integration of AI into military doctrine. They're transitioning from running simulations to deploying live uncrewed weapons, autonomous uncrewed systems, collaborative drones, swarming initiatives. These are now being framed as a core pillar of modern national defense force design. When we look at it impartially, AI expert Stuart Russell outlines some incredibly pressing safety concerns at this level of state power. I mean, if AI systems controlling our power grids or transportation networks malfunction, we are looking at catastrophic infrastructure failures. We're facing the integrity of democratic processes being totally undermined by deepfake misinformation campaigns. There's the alignment problem, those unintended consequences when an AI's goals simply don't match human values. And, of course, in the military sphere, we face the very real prospect of unaccountable, autonomous escalation. Conclusion: the local kingdom, governing the imminent wave. So, what does this all mean for you? How do you actually govern this imminent wave within your own walls? Well, AI is already quietly permeating your local organization in 3 distinct ways. First, by design. These are the tools you officially build or buy. Second, through third-party vendors who are integrating AI into the tech stack you already use. And third, via shadow AI. This is when employees use public, unsanctioned tools to do their daily work. Listen, management-level governance is no longer just optional. It is absolutely crucial to navigate this global web of risk locally and minimize your exposure. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought. We've seen how AI consumes literal rivers of water, demands the power of nuclear reactors, radically shifts global geopolitics, and fuels a massive intellectual arms race. As AI literally terraforms our planet and fundamentally reshapes state power, who do you think truly controls the map? Is it the governments, the private megacorporations, the engineers, or maybe the technology itself? Thanks for joining me on this journey today. Keep questioning the map.